There we go. I can see myself. Hey everyone! Welcome to the live. I'm in my favorite spot, my bed. That's my favorite place to read anybody, is my bedroom. Hey everyone. Hey Beth. Hey Patricia. Hey Carrie. Hi Santa. Hi everyone. Yeah, so I think, okay, if you guys are present, ask your questions in the chat, and if you're not, I'm going to read off of the Patreon site where people have asked their questions. But a lot of people have other questions, like besides psychic questions, so I'll answer those here too. Hey Sharon. Hey Larissa. Hi Adina. How are you guys doing? Hey Reggie. Okay, I saw a question from Santa. I think Santa's present, so I'm just going to start. There's something, you had a question about your relationship with your daughter. There's something where you guys had like 2 to 3 lifetimes, and there's like a cycle that keeps happening over and over and over again. And it's not necessarily what you just posted or your question there. That's why I'm not answering it like that. There's some type of energy where you guys are both trying to work this out, and it's from lifetime. And the situation that you asked about in the question, it's not just that situation. That energy has happened over and over and over again in this lifetime too. And something where the discord started to happen at the age of 8, like I'm seeing the age of 8. So, and it has to do with her going to school or something that happened at school. I don't know exactly what it is, but if you can pinpoint, it's like that's where this karmic cycle started in this lifetime. So if that helps, what will help the relationship is to realize what that is. And it almost feels like, because I know you asked, is it best to avoid her? Only if you disconnect from her energy and look at this energy, and that will help the relationship. But it might be best to take a step back and take a look at what's been going on, because there's something that's been happening over and over again. And I almost can feel and I laugh a lot. I'm not laughing at anybody, but I laugh when I read because it's the higher energy. I laugh because it's like you have been going, I feel like you're tired, and I feel like it's like, ugh, again, but it's not just this lifetime, it's like lifetime after lifetime. So yeah, I hope that helps. And Beth says, is the timing favorable to do my website or later? I'm seeing between March and April, so if that helps. And I'm also seeing a woman who's blonde, who is like very organized, slightly creative, well, actually pretty creative, helping you. And I'm seeing some sort of partnership. I think you might hire someone for a service, but she's got blonde hair to her shoulders, like the same color as mine. So I hope that helps. Like March or April. And I'm seeing an Easter egg, which is my symbol for spring. So it might not be like right. I mean, actually, we're almost in March, so it might be coming up really soon. You're welcome, Santa. I'm going to answer some of the questions people had. There were tons of questions of like current events and stuff like that. So I'm going to answer some of those too. Although it's hard to switch gears like when I go into psychic readings and then answer questions like this. Yeah, someone asked about med beds. To my knowledge, the Federation doesn't give out time frames of when stuff will be released, especially the med beds, because that's in the hands of the Alliance and dismantling the Cabal before that can happen. And the Federation doesn't give out time frames according to Commander Valnek, because they don't want to disappoint anyone or let anyone down. And this is kind of out of their hands, and there's lots of moving parts. So but yeah, the med beds are being mass produced, and there's been agreements made to mass produce them. It's just that big pharma and the rest of the whole shit show has to fall, right? Yeah, there's a lot of other questions. Someone said, Megan, have you ever thought about doing a video about the giant bones the Smithsonian covered up? No. I didn't know there were giant bones that the Smithsonian covered up. Although I have been to the National Museum, the Smithsonian National Museum. It's very cool. Oh, okay. Someone asked about the, how do I word it? Someone says, hello, beautiful. At the moment, I'm going down the road of sex inversion of the elites. Victoria's Secret models, Hollyweird. I'm not against people who are born in the wrong body. I'm against the pretense of blah, blah, blah. Basically, why is this happening? I know that it's like a satanic Luciferian thing. And there's also some of it is sometimes there's an entity that comes into play. There's many different reasons, but I know there's a satanic reason, and it's part of their religion where they believe if they how do I say it? Raise someone in the opposite sex that they are some sort of magical conduit, so they can channel an entity that doesn't have a sex, if that makes sense. So I know their like representation or their god is Satan, right? And Satan, or I don't know, it might even be Baphomet. I don't really study the I don't really study the religion, but I know that Satan doesn't have a sex, and there's some sort of demonic entity. I think it's Baphomet that has breasts and like whatever underneath. And so they believe if they have somebody who is mixed gendered or transgender, that they can channel that entity through them and become a magical conduit. So that's the satanic part of it. I know. Yeah, I said I can cover some of these topics during the live. Okay, I'll come back to that. My husband has been so against awakening. Is it because he's concerned with money, or is it because he's annoyed with me? I'm fully awake, girl, thanks to you. Oh, thank yourself. It has nothing to do with, when we give thanks to other people, it's really, we could give thanks to Creator, right? Because that energy was orchestrated from above to help us and to bring people in to inspire the information that we need that we need at that time, right? I feel like your husband's super, super stubborn. And I see him rolling his eyes at you. And I feel like he believes a little bit of what you say, but he doesn't want to admit it. I just feel like he's not really there yet. I do see him being like totally in love with you. But he's confused. He's a little bit confused about some of the stuff you say. And I feel like you might want him to agree with you, or you might want to have this connection with him where he can go into like these deep conversations. But I feel also he might be stressed at work too, and about work or finances, and so he wants to keep things light, and he doesn't want his consciousness challenged that much. I'm seeing the words in time. He'll come to it in time. He's got like he's got a grandmother, or so it looks like a grandmother on the other side, a mother figure. I feel like he's been like that since he was young, because she's showing me him when he was like a little boy. Like stubborn like that. I hope that helps. Okay, let me go back. I'm trying to get everyone's questions. Nicole says, I'm working on website and business revamp. Any advice? I'm seeing the words take your time. And I feel like you might be the type of person, like when you put your mind to something, you want to get it done like that. I'm seeing that there's going to be bumps in the road, and I'm seeing some sort of like man that is supposed to help you, or he's contracting work with you, and things might not go as planned. and you might need to redirect. But there's going to be, it looks like there's going to be something with a man and some sort of issue, and then you'll have to redirect. So there will be bumps in the road, and then I'm just seeing all will be well in the end. Those are the words that I'm seeing. But take your time. Don't jump in. Don't jump into anything. And yeah, everything's gonna work out for the best. Just there might be bumps in the road. That's okay. Sometimes we need like bumps to get us where we're going. Um, Lucy, my lab dog Lucy is 13, and I was hoping you could check on her health. She seems happy, though wanted to make sure this discomfort she has it isn't more than joint related. I'm just seeing bad hips, especially the right one, the right like knee area. The right side seems more like worse than the left side, and I think she might have some sort of dental disease. Like I see pain there, but I don't see pain anywhere else. I was just babysitting my 14-year-old yellow lab, the family dog. So she has bad hips too, but I don't see her in pain from anything else. But I do feel like the right hip is really painful, just FYI. Okay, let me read some more questions from. Yeah, Diane said, I would love to know about the elite families and if it is true they are all inverted. Is every child born in these families raised as the opposite sex? I mean, I have noticed that, I don't know about every child. I have noticed, the firstborn child, the rules are sacrifice the firstborn child or raise it in the opposite sex. It's part of their religion. Do you see a big event? So I stopped doing like world predictions and stuff like that because I didn't feel like it was serving everyone, and it was just keeping people in this energy of waiting for something to happen. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Someone says, Kavana says, I would love to hear your insights on ascension. It seems we are very close. I sincerely feel your meditations are supportive, clearing trauma, restructuring our DNA. And I find all your topics quite interesting. So the ascension, like from my perspective, is not like an event where all of a sudden we're going to ascend. It's something that's going to happen over time. And we're always ascending, right? So we're always, I wouldn't use the word ascending. I would use it because it makes it sound like we're all Jesus and we're about to like go into our light bodies. But I think of it as evolution, and we're all evolving, and that does happen on some level on a massive scale, but more so on an individual scale too. So I've never seen like a specific ascension event in that respect. So, but we're always evolving. Just put my hair up because it looks like a hot mess. Okay. Why do I keep seeing numbers? Most likely because you're in alignment. I see numbers as a sign when I'm in alignment. I see angel numbers a lot. Try and think of what you're thinking at the time, and it might be some sort of validation too. Yes. Will my oldest son get accepted into the private school my youngest son goes to this year? Yeah, I'm seeing green lights and I'm seeing the word yes. Okay. No Fear says, can you tell me how my mom's health is? She's not very forthcoming and I'm concerned. I'm just seeing the words not to worry. I don't want to look into your mom's energy because I feel like that's her business, but I'm just seeing the words not to worry. And then I'm not seeing anything else. So I hope that helps. Okay. Let me see. I almost feel like I should play music. Okay, people are asking about my Jesus videos. So I took those down. I don't want to like influence what people think about religion. So that's why I have them, I could repost them, but I don't wanna influence what people feel about their religion. I feel like that's not my place, so I don't wanna interfere. And I used to have tons of celebrity videos on my channel that I took down when I came out with my contacts from the Federation because I felt like it put me more at risk. Also, I don't resonate with talking about celebrities anymore. I feel like it was more of a gossip type thing. I know people like learned a lot because it was about Satanism and stuff. A lot of that, like I exposed or it would expose in the reading or whatever or the video, but I just didn't feel like it was in the highest good or in the highest service. So I have not reposted those. And some of them were, a lot of my videos were taken down or deleted. I also had to take them down to preserve my channel because I would talk about certain things that would get me deleted. So that's why. Um, okay, let me take more questions. Trying to take as many. Hi, Megan. Do you see me traveling soon with the projects I'm working on? I feel like it will be later in the summer because I'm just feeling really warm, hot. I'm seeing the words late summer. Um, for whatever reason, I'm just seeing a little bump like in between with a project in between now and then. And I'm seeing a split in direction. And I don't know if you are partnered with someone or there's someone you're working on it this with, but I almost feel like there might be a going of a separate ways or there'll be some sort of separation with the project. And I see you being led down, not necessarily a different road, but a different road from that person. But the door I see opening like late summertime. Sim, I have my condo until July. Will I be able to extend and stay at the condo until December 2022? I don't think so. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a big X, which would make me feel like no. Okay. Angeline on Patreon says, I would love to know about artificial intelligence. Is this good for our advancement in technology to 5D, or is it bad and dangerous? I have heard AI is a virus that invaded our planet and is harming our Earth and species. Is that true? And what is up with graphene oxide? Is that a tool to try and merge human with AI? And okay. So artificial intelligence there's different ways that it can be used. And on our planet, it has been used for nefarious purposes. So there is some people and are like military and of course malevolent ETs have put uh, implants in people and they can control them that way. I've done a lot of I think I've done a lot of readings on this on my YouTube channel, but they can even control people remotely from a satellite signal if they chip them or put a chip in there. So there's that way, and it's a signal that's broadcasted from a satellite. Then there's other technology that is also like a radio broadcast that can infiltrate people's brain waves. And especially if you have psychic abilities and you start to channel, you could pick up on AI and start to channel an entity or some sort of, I don't know, like they could say they're Jesus or whatever, some sort of entity that way. So there's different ways that they've done it to kind of enslave us. And so, to my knowledge, like from my contact in the Federation, they are dismantling that technology on the ground and working on that. So I know there's different excuse me. There's different perspectives on artificial intelligence. Um Is this good for our advancement in technology to 5D? So that will not be used in 5D or the fifth density. We're trying to get rid of it, but there's tons of that's a different topic for a different day. There's tons of misinformation about AI and what AI is. Let's see. Glimpses into our future regarding finance. What is the plan for transition from our current state to our future one? What should we put our money towards to help secure or grow it? I personally believe the stock market is due for a major adjustment again. I have said this before when people ask, like, I don't care about money. So I never ask. And so, yeah, I just don't care. So I never ask, and I don't really do predictions on finance because when you're in alignment with source or living your life purpose, you'll just attract it and you don't have to think about it really. Not everyone's going to be a millionaire, but if you're living in alignment with who you are, then you'll attract the abundance as part of the law of attraction. And so you don't really have to do anything to attract it or even worry about it. So I never even, that's the best advice I have on that. I would love to hear your thoughts on what happens to animals' energy when they die. They go to the next plane, just like all of us do. They go to the next plane. I love my animals. I want a med bed for my dog. Larissa, will I be moving this month? Thank you. It feels like the end of February. It might be the beginning of March. But feels more towards like late February. Hey Megan, my husband too is very difficult when it comes to awakening, and our relationship has been on the rocks, sometimes because of it. Do you have guidance on how to navigate this? I'm seeing the words leave him alone. It feels like I'm just seeing you might be upset because you're afraid he might not get it or you guys won't be on the same page. It just feels like a lot of fear around you, and I'm just picking up that you guys have more in common than you don't have in common, and to focus on what you do have in common because he'll come around eventually, but he's the type of person that has to see it, like it has to be right in front of his face. And there's an imbalance in the root chakra, and that comes from I don't know if he has a dad. It feels more like a dad passed or a close male figure that has passed, watching over him. But he's somebody who has to. I don't let family members or spirits come in because then it's like they all come in. But so they're distracting me right now. But I feel like he's the type of person that has to see it to believe it, and it will take time. Um, it will take time. I'm just feeling fear. Just let go of the fear and focus on what you guys do have in common. Also, you have to like take it easy with his personality too. I feel like he might have a hard exterior, but when it comes to like woo-woo stuff or even stuff unseen and it's like sensitive and spiritual topics, it's sensitive for him. So, okay, let me see. More remote viewings. Yeah, I'll do more remote viewings. I have to have the inspiration though. So that's why I don't do videos like every day and work psychically to post stuff on YouTube every day because the energy has to be right. I have to be in alignment. I have to stay protected, like energetically protected. If you start working psychically and posting constantly on YouTube, like psychic readings, there's a high chance that you may be doing it out of ego because you're not in alignment with the ebb and flow of the universe. The universe is an ebb and flow, and sometimes you post and then it pulls back. So I'm always working with the ebb and flow of the universe to make sure psychically I stay in tune. So I will post. I have an idea for one that I'm going to do. And it will be soon. But yeah, so that's why I haven't posted a lot because I try and stay like mentally sound. Otherwise, you can get hacked and stuff can happen. So yeah. Hi, Megan. Is refinancing my home a good idea right now? But were you thinking of moving? Because I'm seeing a move question mark. And I'm seeing 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. And there's a lot of indecision about all of this home situation. And I'm feeling stuck, like I can't speak because there's so much to this. It's like there's another person involved, so I don't know if this is your husband or if there's a male involved. But I'm just seeing the words indecision. I'm seeing hands are tied, and I'm seeing a move question mark. So I don't know if you're thinking of moving, and I feel stuck, and I don't feel, it's like I can barely talk. I don't feel anything happening right now for whatever reason, and I'm seeing dot dot dot. I don't know if there's some type of move or you're gonna be looking for a different place. But I feel like there's something that's gonna happen they're not allowing me to see. So I feel like you might even be more confused at that information. Sorry, I hope that helps. Thanks, Stella Rose. Kate says, when do you see me connecting with my soul purpose? Many thanks. Okay, so this is important. So, like, as a psychic or a spiritual teacher or whatever, you never want to tell someone what their life purpose is. And so for you, I feel like externally there's been you might be looking to label yourself. And the trick is to unlabel yourself, and then you'll become in alignment with your life purpose. So there seems to be some sort of external focus, and I'm seeing like glitz and glamour. Sometimes we think like if our life looks this way, then like we've made it kind of thing. So go back. I'm seeing the age of 12. It might be helpful to go back and look at the age of 12. There's something there that might be blocking you. So the more we heal our pain and trauma, the more we become in alignment with our soul of who we truly are, and then we become in alignment with our soul purpose. So I'm not getting a time frame because this depends on you, but there's something with the age of 12 connected to middle school, and there's something that needs to be healed there. So if that helps you, the clearer you get, the clearer your path will get. Okay. Okay. Okay, Nicole asked a good question. Would you able to talk a bit or direct us to some additional sources of what being a human actually looks like? And I said, the big secret, you are not human. You are part of the infinite source of energy that is behind all of creation. Nothing and no one can define what you are except yourself. Yes. So I just wanted to read that for everyone, everyone that was listening. Okay, let's see. Haley, we studied our white Swiss Shepherd out by TCI to get one of his offspring from a reputable breeder. My max passed at 11.2 years. His singleton daughter was born. Will we get her eventually? I'm not seeing it. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing a blockage, and I'm just seeing like a big X. So I don't know why I'm not seeing it right now. It doesn't mean it won't happen. It's just I can't see it. Linda says, will my son pass his test or not? You know what song I'm hearing in my head? That do, 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 do. They're going like this, so I don't feel like they'll tell me. There's some sort of cycle that goes on with you and your son too. It's like a back and forth. I'm just hearing the words, tell her not to worry. But for some reason, I'm not feeling like a total yes, but I'm not feeling like a total no. Yeah, I'm not being allowed to see it. Sometimes that happens, like if you work as a psychic, you can't always see everything, right? You can only see the energy that's relevant to that person and what they're going through at that time. Oh, James. I'm doing a psychic wellness event where I'll be offering Reiki healing. Do you see this as being the catalyst for me to expand and have my own healing practice? You know what I'm seeing is like tons of books. like books, books, books everywhere. And I'm seeing you study more. Like, I almost have you thought about traveling to like India or doing some sort of actual like spiritual retreat, but for yourself? Because I'm almost seeing you do like different modalities. Like, I don't know where I am because I'm seeing some sort of Buddha. So I don't know if this is Thailand or what, but it's some sort of foreign something overseas working on your working and learning more. The door is open. I'm seeing the door open, but I'm seeing the word study more, practice more. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Sharon, I have an amazing memory. With that said, would you know why the first 12 years of my life have very limited memories? Trauma at 3 years old. So sometimes when we go through trauma, like as a child, we hide that trauma away and then it can affect our memory too. So there might be a trauma there too. Uh, yeah. So they're showing me meditate, but I know last live we had this conversation, I think, about meditating, so that's up to you. But I remember your response from last time. It might be a good idea, not necessarily to get hypnosis, but some sort of energy healing, and then you might get more clarity too, on your memories. Okay, let me read some more questions. Candace says, for me, just more resources or tools of how to stay grounded and decipher between what I am transmuting for myself versus the collective. At times, I'm consumed by grief and despair out of nowhere, and I'm not sure how to transmute it. Do I need to dig deeper into it for healing or let it go because it's not mine? That's a good question. I would dig deeper because how do you know it's not yours? How do you know it's not yours? Like, so yes, there is collective grief and healing, but there's probably something within you that's matching that energy and causing you to be attached to it. So I would dig deeper and I use a grounding mat. Like I have actually one that is made out of amethyst. It's really nice, but you can get like cheaper ones on Amazon. So I have a grounding mat and spending time in nature. It when you spend time in nature, your energy field becomes in alignment with nature. Nature is in alignment with source, and that's where you can get a lot of clarity. So even for people who have trouble meditating, um being in nature is a really good idea too. Susan says, I love what you have been doing and stressing that we must do the work for ourselves. We are responsible for raising our rave vibration. Yes. Yes. Okay. Giselle says, I was told to get the job or lose my job. I was already planning to move, but wanted to finish the school year with the children I'm working with. Do you see what's next for me? Maybe moving out of California. I'm seeing northeast, not necessarily out of California, but I'm seeing a move northeast. Let me see if I can see what state. I don't know if you'll move out of California. I'm just seeing wherever you are now, northeast of that. And do you see what's next for me? Maybe moving out of. They're just showing me that this was a God, feels like just someone threw a wrench in your plans. It feels like someone just threw a wrench in your plans, and I just feel like you're trying to like pick up the pieces, and it feels I'm seeing the word self-healing. uh, um I feel like this happened for a reason. Like whatever you've been doing has not been serving you. I do see a move northeast. I don't know if you've been thinking about traveling cross country, because I'm seeing you travel across country, and I'm seeing the words like soul searching, something like that. So they're not showing me, they're showing me a like a plate, and then you know how you have like the cover on top of the plate and they remove it and it's like a question mark. That's what they're giving me. But I feel like there's some type of soul searching, and I feel like sometimes when the universe throws a wrench in your plans, it's actually like on purpose. Sometimes it can be a really good thing. So it probably was a gift. Yeah, a lot of people are interested in inversion. So people sometimes can get hooked onto AI, and that's like an AI thing too. Because there is an agenda behind that, and there's a so people can do whatever they want, and this is not me speaking against anyone who chooses to be the opposite sex. Truly, I don't care. But in some cases, there is a door that has opened there for an entity to come through, and there is a satanic agenda behind it. So it's just so an entity, confusion. It means you're out of alignment with who you are, and then a door can open for another entity to come through or attach to you. And a lot of people think like demonic possession looks like The Exorcist, right? It doesn't, because it doesn't behoove the darkness to inhabit a vessel and then make the person look totally crazy. No, they want to attach to the soul, siphon the soul energy, and how do I say it? Influence that soul or that person to cause pain and trauma to somebody else so they can continue to siphon that energy. And that's actually how they create the upside down world, the matrix, what have you. So that's kind of their game. That's kind of their game with that. Let's see. Cause of right hip pain and what would help. I think, was this your dog? I think it's arthritis, your older dog. How do you remove entities around you? I started developing my own process, but it's a little time consuming and I'm looking for a breakthrough on this. What I do is I imagine myself in a white light, and then I call on my spirit guide or a higher power, and I ask them to clear it and tell the entities they are healed and they are loved and to go to their perfect place. The thing, it doesn't really matter what you do, you just have to believe in what you're doing, and then it will work. So it's more about like the belief. So whatever you feel powerful doing, however you feel most powerful doing it, then that's how I would do it. I'm just reading from the live. Other people's questions. Okay, so someone said, I saw your interview with Nick and was discussing that Val went to a bar and drank something that raised his vibration. Made me curious, to name just a few. Do they fall in love and make commitments to people? How do they give birth? What else do they do for fun? Do they have entertainment or the arts like we do? Commitments to other beings? And are they compatible to procreate? So a lot of humanoid ET races are compatible with each other. So it depends on the race, like what their preferences are. Like Valnek's race and races similar to his are not, they are heterosexual. So there are no homosexuals. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just how their race is. They have the divine feminine and then they have the divine masculine. And that specific race, like we can call them, whatever, Pleiadians. Pleiades is very large. There's different planets there, but just talking about his race specifically, they are much like us. When they are younger, they date like we do, and it's a big part of their culture is actually making love. So they don't have like sex or like weird sex like we do down here. A big part of their culture is actually lovemaking. And then when they talk about marriage, it's not necessarily like we have down here where it's an agreement on paper. It's more of oh, what's happening? Oh, good. Okay. I don't know. Something's messing with my my thing. It's more of a, when they make commitments, it's more on a soul level, like a twin flame relationship, and it's made on through a soul connection like that. So that's how they partner, or that's how they have marriages, is through twin flame relationships. Do they procreate? Yes, like us. How do they give birth? Like us. Like us, but it's different because it's not like a hospital or anything like that. It's more of like a spiritual experience of welcoming a new life into the earth. So, or into their planet, right? I guess it wouldn't be Earth. But they are very good at, the male will mesh with the female's energy and balance her energy, because when you think about pain or health complications, it's really just an energetic imbalance, right? So the male will mesh with the female energy and help balance her energy and then give birth. So it's more on like a spiritual higher level, and more beautiful sometimes, in a way, because it's on a spiritual level too. So it's exciting when we move into fifth density, what will be, how we'll be experiencing life. It'll be a little bit different. Okay, let's see. Cheri says, Pleiadians have started joining my astral travel with ancestors in my twin flame. I know we're indigos too. Does this mean we're connected to Pleiades? So I don't like to tell people like where they're connected to, because I feel like that is your thing to figure out, and I don't want to interfere with that. But it sounds like you are, sounds like you're on the right track, like you're getting a lot of answers. It feels like there's energies around you. What I would do is make sure you're clearing yourself before you meditate. And that way there won't be anything coming in confusing, so that you can get clear messages on what you're connecting to and who you're connected with, if that makes sense. So I'm also just seeing like crystals around you, so you can use cleansing crystals and stuff like that. And then you'll get a clearer picture of where, like, which energy is which and what you're connected to. You're welcome, Kate. So I got this water. I literally was laying, it's called Langenberg oxygen water. I literally was like laying on the couch and drank a bottle of this water, and I like popped right up. I may have even said that last live. I'm just so impressed with it. Okay, I'm just gonna take a few more questions from here. And let's see. Because a lot of people had questions. Yeah, I'm not doing readings on figures and celebrities. I kind of mentioned that. I don't feel drawn to it. And I took a lot of those videos down to preserve my channel, but also I don't want to be talking about the CABAL so like openly. Let's see. Okay, this is a great question. Hi, Megan. On the JC, Janine, and Julie show, you mentioned there are certain things you and Janine do to stay safe in the psychic channeling world. Can you teach us some of those things so we can help protect ourselves? I love your messages and how they have handled all the negativity. Says everything about your light and soul. Thank you. Yeah, okay. So just to make sure, okay, I'm just seeing how I will handle this. So I always clear my energy, cleanse my energy. You always have to take responsibility for your own trauma, pain, always meditating so you are aware of your own consciousness. You're not projecting it outwards, and you're not looking for an energy outside of yourself to complete you. Because if you're looking for an energy outside of yourself to basically something, it's going to be like your ego might get in the way, and then an entity can come in and hook onto your ego, and you might start channeling that entity. I don't ever channel anything. I don't channel from the subconscious. everything that I'm doing here, I've learned to consciously put my brain into a different state to connect to a higher energy. Sometimes when I've warned about channeling before, but it can come in the subconscious, and kind of mess with you that way. So I don't do channeling like that. How else? I always test my information. Like if I have been talking to, and I do that privately, I don't post like some of the information that I get because I test it. Like I can be pretty sassy with, even like if I talk to an ET or a spirit guide, I always test it to see if it comes true. Um, and I'm not going to continue to talk to like an entity who's telling me bullshit basically. And that's reflective of me doing this, getting paid to do this, or having clients, right? Like if I'm not connected to a higher energy source giving information, then it's not I'm probably connected to something else. Do you see what I'm saying? If it's not accurate, I hope that came out right. What else do I do? Always disconnect yourself. So connect. So after I get done doing this, I'll cleanse myself, but I'll disconnect that energy. So I've trained my brain to come back into a different state of mind. Let's see. James says, I was thinking of going to Japan. Yes, do it. It's a good idea. Okay. Piece of Kate. Hi, my dog Max passed away recently, and I was wondering if he reincarnated as his daughter or if he watches over me and my family. I'm not seeing him reincarnated. I'm seeing him with a man on the other side. Um, I'm seeing him with a man on the other side. So I would pay attention in the house because it looks like he's been in the house too. Um, and I don't know if the other dog has had accidents in the house too, but I'm seeing him walk around the house sniffing either for another dog, but specifically like I smell like some sort of musty smell. I mean, my dogs have had accidents in the house too. Um, yeah, but I'm not seeing him reincarnated with a man on the other side, an older man, and kind of has a good sense of humor. He's going like this. All is good. Megan, I'm looking to move soon. I have written down the house and property I would like to buy and have meditate on it. Do you see this happening soon? I can feel my energy dropping. I might have to get off. I'm not seeing it for whatever reason. I feel like it feels like something that you might be trying too hard to manifest. So I almost would even let it go and burn it and see if it will come back to you that way. Because I'm not seeing it. I almost feel like there's a feeling of trying too hard with it. Okay, let's see. Lots of nice comments from everyone. Thank you. Tony says, I love your updates from the Galactic Federation. I don't understand the post about ET DNA. Do you mean we're going to mix DNA of ETs with ours or just learn about their DNA? So there's more to that I will post later. But basically they are learning about the genetics of different extraterrestrial races. The humans are not necessarily malevolent extraterrestrials, but higher density genetics, which could be valuable to the human race in some way. The reason that this was part of, and technology to do so, the reason that this was part of the Jupiter agreements is because the Federation wants to make sure that this information, when they share this information with the humans, that it's done with the benefit of the human race and in alignment with universal law. So there's not going to be any genetic experiments or things done without our consent. They're simply just studying genetics and extraterrestrial genes, the technology, certain medical technologies. And so yeah, but I'll post more about that. I know a lot of people were like, that's freaking weird. Don't worry. I agree. If I heard someone say that, I'd be like, Who are you? Oh, my psychic energy is falling. It might be failing me. Janine, Sharon says, it was nice to see people I resonate with have support for each other. Your interview with Jacine and Janine, so good. Thank you. Okay, if you've already, you're welcome, Beth. I hope your daughters are doing well. And there was a man too, because I did a reading for you, I think last year. There is a man too. When I don't know if your daughters have left the home yet, but when you have more time, or there's going to be a period where you have more time to yourself, then I see the door opening too. But I'm also seeing a vacation too for some reason. I don't know if you've thought of going on vacation somewhere warm, because I'm being shown a bikini and a beach. Dog is snoring. I don't know if anyone can hear him. Lisa says, why is our dog Bella so awkward? What can we do to help her? We rescued her at 14 months and wonder what happened to her before us. Are our other two dogs still breathing? I almost feel like my psychic energy is like about to shut down. I'll probably take a nap after this. There might have been something like physical, or she might have been around someone who yells a lot, or someone to instill fear. So that's kind of what I feel happened, some sort of physical stuff. I'm going to switch over because my energy is like fizzling out. Let's see. Thank you guys for all the nice comments. I'm just gonna scroll down to make sure I didn't miss anyone. I almost might have to stop because I feel like I'm getting tired. Robert says, can you tell me about my career? Will I be staying or leaving? When will I be moving to a new home? I think you'll be staying, and I'm not seeing 3 to 4 months. Something to do with a move, 3 to 4 months. But there's some sort of indecision, though. I think it will depend on your wife, because I'm seeing your wife pick out the house. And I don't know if you'll totally love it. But the price will be okay. But the price will be good. That's what I'm seeing. Keep looking, though. Keep looking. Oh, geez. Let me see any more questions. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna stop here because I'm just feeling like my energy is like dwindling. But so I will be back in 2 weeks. I almost might repost on YouTube, because people had really good questions, like not just psychic questions. So I'll think about it. I don't know if I will. But yeah. But I hope you guys have a great night. Super fun. I almost think next time maybe I'll play some music or something, and that would be cool. But yeah, stay tuned.